A blustery good morning to you all from way down south in the Metroplex off of the Chisholm Trail Parkway. Actually, at the dead end of the Chisholm Trail Parkway. In Cleburne, Texas, it's another edition of high school baseball on the Zap Network presented by John Wade Roofing. A morning matinee is what's in store for a couple of teams that are coming off of a couple of big wins. The pregame show, talking all about that, is coming up in just a moment. And then after that, it's first pitch here on Zap. John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
Are you a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage? Or perhaps you're navigating the complexities of Medicare? Look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent insurance agency with over 50 years of experience with tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need home and auto, business insurance, or individual or group medical, Chapman Cornelius has knowledgeable agents who will help you select just what you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott at 817-265-3346.
Good morning, baseball fans, and welcome to the home of the Yellowjackets. And it is those Cleburne Jackets that will be playing the Arlington Bowie Volunteers in day 2 of the Cleburne Burleson ISD tournament. The final week of tournament play taking place here today and tomorrow, and then starting next Wednesday, it's time for district competition. The Volunteers made it to the postseason last year, defeating teams like Martin and Haltom en route to a District 8-6A by-district round appearance. Their first one in 12 years, and the Zap Network was proud to bring that postseason appearance and that entire season to you, and we're excited to be back for another season. I am Zach Arnold, and I'm bringing you today's action, but I'm not alone. Coming in to help me batten down the hatches and take some of the play-by-play duties if I have work calls like I did yesterday. It's my Pops, Doug. Pops, you're playing hooky a little bit today, but even if it is overcast and breezy and our tent feels more like a sailboat, we're hoping that the rain stays away long enough for us to play too.
Yeah, the cavalry's arrived today. I'm going to help you out a little bit and enjoy some baseball. My first time to see Bowie baseball in action so far this year. Seen a little bit of the other team that we cover here on the Zap Network, but glad to be out here because, like you say always, any day at the ball field is better than a day in the office.
I love it here. This is my office. I got to set up my office in the grandstands here at the home of the Yellowjackets. And there's no Bowie faithful in the grandstands except for us. There's about a smattering of 10 to 12 Jacket fans that are here for this 10 a.m. matinee. But we're assuming everybody else has to work or couldn't make the trip down to Cleburne. So we're making the trip for you.
Well, you know what's fun for me yesterday, Zach, if anybody's tuning in, share out the link and tell people, hey, prop the phone up on your desk at the office, and while you're getting work done, keep up with the action. That's what I did yesterday, and it worked just great.
We're going to provide you every pitch, every out of the doubleheader that's going to be taking place here today. The Volunteers are playing Springtown immediately after the conclusion of this ball game. But first, they got to get through a team that won over 20 games last year. They're helmed by a head coach with over 800 wins in his career, the epitome of consistency. Coach Ross Taylor has his Yellowjackets ready to play day in and day out, Pops. This is probably going to be the toughest game Bowie plays all tournament.
Yeah, we were here for this tournament last year and saw Bowie go up against Cleburne. They've got, like you said, a great tradition here. They've got a great little ballpark, and it's going to be a fun one to see the matchup after the explosive output both teams put out yesterday. We'll see what happens when they go head-to-head.
That's right. Both teams ended up dispatching the unfortunate Waco High Lions, who only had 10 players on their entire roster, and you need 9 just to put people in the field. They were just at an extreme disadvantage and unfortunately came up on the short end of the stick. Bowie was excited to see the kind of productivity that they did because they've been needing to wake up those bats after having some run production issues during the tournament last week in Irving. So I don't think anybody's ever going to complain when you put up 14 runs in the first inning and,
I was the only
23 in the entire ball game that only lasted 4 innings.
I think I was the only one in the chat yesterday, and I kept making these comments. Football score. Here we go. I was looking for Coach Sam on the field there.
We are trying to get Coach Sam to come onto the headset at some point during this season. Did you know he played baseball at Grambling State? So
I heard him talk about that experience at the Bowie baseball kickoff dinner that we went to, and he has a wide variety of experience. He's much more than a football coach, is Coach Sam.
We're getting ready for first pitch. The pregame show is presented by Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services, Inc. Call 817-265-3346 and ask for April Chapman or Jason Ott. Don't let insurance be a headache. Leading things off is going to be the shortstop, number 8, Josue Martinez. And as the first pitch gets underway, we remind you that as we open up this game, open up your home to new possibilities with Modern West Windows and Doors, our first pitch sponsors. That first pitch to Martinez from the pitcher, Carter Howe, is inside for ball 1, and we are underway. Martinez is going to foul that one off. The pitcher today, Andrew Vega, will bat second. Center fielder Isaiah Piper will bat third. Christian Uribe, the third baseman, is in the cleanup spot. Micah Couch bats fifth in left field. Adam Fiorentino is the DH, batting for the second baseman, Juan Mendez. He'll go sixth. Darian Brown, the right fielder, bats seventh. The catcher, Raul Sanchez, is eighth. And rounding out the order is the first baseman, Zion Sturhill. That swing and the miss makes it a ball and 2 strikes to the leadoff man, Martinez. Defensively around the horn for the Jackets, it's east on the east side of the diamond at first base. Cavett is at second, Finley's at third, Aguilar is at short. Douthit is in left, Watson's in center, and Staten is in right. That swing and a miss is a strikeout, which results in out number 1 and strikeout number 1 of Josue Martinez at the expense of Carter Howe. Howe's battery mate behind the plate is Xander Bellinger. Bellinger, the catcher for the Yellowjackets.
The ballpark here in Cleveland is all
Cleveland.
Cleveland. I went a long way. I took a left turn at Albuquerque.
Cleveland-like weather out here.
Cleburne, all turf.
Chopper to third, playable for Finley, sets, fires, and delivers the 5-3 putout of the pitcher Vega. Go ahead. You were explaining the dimensions, Pop?
Yeah, everything is dirt here at Cleburne Yellowjacket Stadium. They've got 315 down the left field line, 305 feet down the right field line, 350 to both of the alleys in left center and right center, and 375 to dead center field with about a 15, 20-foot wall out there from the alley to alley here at Cleburne Park. Good-sized distance from the home plate to the backstop, so if a ball gets by, people may be running.
I know that the wind is in our face, Pop, but the mic is like right in our mouth, so we may not need to be as loud as we're saying. Folks, if we do sound too loud, let us know in the chat, and we'll try to adjust our mics, but the wind is gusting here today. We had to really
maybe I'm having trouble hearing myself with the wind in my earphones.
Let me see if I turn this up a little bit. Maybe we'll hear ourselves a little bit better, and that can help. But I think our overall gain is okay. It's a ball and a strike to the center fielder, Isaiah Piper, and he's going to foul that one off to make it 1-2. A quick 2 up, 2 down if you're just joining us. Strikeout of Josue Martinez. And then a 5-3 put out. And now a 1-2 count to Piper. Carter Howe, the righty, sets and fires. And it's another swing and a miss, and it's a quick 1-2-3 inning. Bowie is headed to the dugout. Cleburne is headed to the plate when we come back here on the Zap Network.
Whenever a plumbing problem hits your home, experience matters. Pipe & Peak is a family-owned residential plumbing company with 16 years of experience that you can trust. They handle everything from yard leaks and slab leaks to tunnel work, and they're specialists in replacing old cast iron pipe. No job is too big or too small, and their pricing stays competitive. If you're seeing signs of aging pipes, now's the time to act. Send an email to Caleb Renfro to see how Pipe & Peak can help your home. When your high school field needs to look game ready, trust John Kling and the pros at Field Ops North Texas. This veteran-owned team delivers fast turnaround and long-lasting field striping for football, soccer, lacrosse, and more, using professional-grade paint and equipment. Field Ops proudly serves schools and communities across North Texas, helping student-athletes compete on fields that look as good as they play. Get a free quote today by visiting gofieldops.com/north-texas.
To the bottom of the first we go here at the home of the Yellowjackets. Alongside my pops Doug, I'm Zach Arnold bringing you this tournament action. Bowie picked up a win in their only game yesterday, a 23-1 finish against the Waco Lions. Not as much offensive output in the first inning of this ball game, which may bode well. Maybe that'll set it up for being a good ball game.
Yeah, the game yesterday, it got to a point where you almost felt bad for Waco.
Yeah.
And Coach Johnson really displayed some incredible sportsmanship. When there were pass balls with runners at third base, he was holding them and keeping them at third base.
Yeah.
Let's not run the score up, boys. As we see one Bowie fan march into the stadium. Glad to have Mama here today.
One person clad in orange, and then we've got our BV caps on. Those orange caps out there for the Bowie defense look spectacular.
Yeah.
I need to ask Coach Johnson how we go about acquiring one of those. Let's take a look at the defensive alignment for the Volunteers for this ball game. You see Andrew Vega warming up. That throwdown was his battery mate, Raul Sanchez. Around the horn at first base, it's Sturhill. Juan Mendez is at second base, being DH'd for, but in the field defensively. Uribe is at third. Martinez is at short. Couch is in left, Piper is in center, and Brown is in right. Starting lineup for the Jackets today, leading off and playing shortstop, Manny Aguilar. Batting second in right field, Dylan Staten. Batting third in left field, Bo Douthit. The catcher, Xander Ballinger, is in cleanup. Pitcher DH, Carter Howe, bats for himself in the 5-hole. Wyatt East, the first baseman, bats sixth. First pitch here is a called strike one to Aguilar. Ryan Finley will bat seventh and play third base. Ty Cavett will bat eighth, and rounding out the order is the center fielder, Jake Watson. That one tails away for ball number one. Pops, we didn't see much of Ortega yesterday, but what we saw was very impressive. Sturhill is able to corral it, tosses it to Vega, and gets the put out. What a great defensive play by those young men. It was a chopper that Sturhill had a hard time corralling around. Uh-oh, looks like something's wrong with our instant replay feature. We'll see if we can try to adjust that.
It was a sharply hit ball to the right side, like you could see on the camera there, and it rolled up on on Sturhill, and he was able to recover and stay calm and toss the ball to his pitcher Vega, covering at first for the out. Vega gets the first pitch in for a strike. Second pitch comes in a little bit outside and away from the left-handed batting number 11, Stanton. Counts 1-1. Staten?
I got clarification from their coach. That's a sharply hit fair ball down the third base line, and it's going all the way to that 315 mark you mentioned during the pregame show. Staten sends this past the hot corner. It's a tough corral and an even tougher throw, and it'll be a sliding triple for Staten down that left field line.
Hot shot down that line, like you said, just gets out of reach of Uribe and goes all the way to that coffin corner. Good running, good hit by Staten, and good legging around the base to make it all the way to third on that play.
So with one away, it'll be the left fielder, Bo Douthit, with the infield playing on the lip of the grass and a little bit more pressure on Sanchez. There were several pass balls, like we mentioned, during yesterday's game. There is a decently deep backstop here at the home of the Yellowjackets, as that is ball two now to the left fielder. Fans, let us know where you're tuning in from. I see some people starting to creep into the viewership area as strike one is issued. The Jackets are in gray jerseys with black pinstripes and gold numbering with black piping around it. Bowie is wearing their white jerseys with the block blue Bowie lettering with orange piping, and of course those orange hats that I talked about earlier. Outside corner gets clipped there, and that makes it 2 balls and 2 strikes. Vega sets and fires, and that one's going to get fouled off there.
Yeah, this Bowie uniform looks really sharp. The block lettering is bigger than what most block lettering looks like. I mean, it's a good 6-7 inches tall letters.
6-7. Oh, there's pinstripes on those jerseys as well. I'm just too blind to see it.
Yeah, it's a blue pinstripe.
It's a nice
blue lettering with orange piping around the Bowie.
This might be the cleanest uniform combo as the count runs full. Countdown on the scoreboard: 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out to Douthit. Payoff pitch on the way. Got him swinging. Nice placement on that pitch there. Vega records the 2nd out on a K.
Good time for a strikeout pitch there with a runner still lurking down at third base. That gets 2 outs in the inning.
And that'll take us to the catcher, Xander Ballinger. First pitch is a called strike on the outside corner. That heater is clipping the corner right now.
And you know what I'm noticing early in the ball game? Vega's working ahead in the count consistently.
Trying to get ahead here. Gets him swinging, chipped into the glove, and it's 0-2. Bowie 1 pitch away from getting out of that jam with the triple. I say he goes off speed here, maybe higher away.
Try and catch him.
He's going to put this in play, and it's going to hook too far foul towards the parking lot here, just past the bullpen along the first baseline that Bowie occupies this morning. Third base belongs to the home team, Yellowjackets. Vega sets and delivers an 0-2 again. That one's just an excuse-me swing to keep the at-bat alive, and that's exactly what Ballinger does, and it'll stay 0-2.
The logo for the Cleburne Yellowjackets looks a lot like the Cincinnati Reds.
Yes.
C, only it's a gold fill for their gold and black colors.
And there's an alternate logo that actually has like a animated fighting yellow jacket in it.
Yeah.
That one's fun to see. Vega's 0-2. Right to the shortstop. He'll play it on the hop. Martinez to Sturhill, and Bowie gets out of the inning. That triple down the left field line by Staten is for naught as Vega gets a strikeout and a ground out to end the threat. We're through 1 and scoreless here at Cleburne High School. Back after this here on the Zap Network. John Wade Roofing has been serving the Arlington area since 1982, but the Wade legacy runs much deeper in the city of Arlington. A pioneer family that has had roots going back decades, John Wade and Company saw relatives attend the Cooper Street Arlington High campus and has had members play in Colt athletics for decades. And they're looking forward to serving this community for decades to come. Find out more at johnwaderoofing.com.
Navigating Medicare options isn't easy. Hi, I'm Patsy Arnold, and when the time came to navigate my options, I went to Chapman Cornelius. They helped me find the best plan for my needs, quoted me life insurance options, and guided me in making my decisions every step of the way. They want to do the same for you, so give them a call at 817-265-3346 or visit chapman-cornelius.com.
To the second inning we go. I was very impressed with Bowie's defense there. It's very easy to get rattled after you give up a triple, but they were able to recover and collect a couple of easy outs and keep Cleburne off the scoreboard.
Well, and Vega pitched strong after giving up that triple. That was a good, clean shot down the left field line, and Vega was just like, okay, let's just get back to business.
And get back to it he did, and now it's time for the business end of the bats to try to get going, and who better than the cleanup hitter, Christian Uribe, who has just been on fire for the Volunteers as of late. He had a very solid outing against Waco High, but so did the rest of the lineup. But he's also been consistently hitting the ball as he had several base hits in the series against Irving. He'll be leading things off. He'll be followed by the left fielder Micah Couch and the DH, Adam Fiorentino. Fans, the second inning of each ball game is presented by our friends at Pipe and Peak. If I can find the Pipe and Peak reader. I got too much stuff on my table. Caleb Renfro is the person to call if you ever need a cast iron replacement specialist or if your pipes burst. Call 817-807-7069 and tell them Zach Arnold Productions sent you. Pops, here's my unofficial scorecard from yesterday's game against Waco High. As you can see, everybody in the Bowie lineup hit safely. This one's a tough backhand for the shortstop. Throw across the diamond, not in time. Uribe legs out the infield hit. And the streak continues. You know, Aguilar tried to backhand it, and it popped in and out of his glove. And then, then he had to throw it.
He did get a glove on it.
Is that an E6? That might be an E6. That'll take us to Micah Couch. They'll check on Uribe, and he is barely back in time. Probably had to dive a little bit more than he should have. But he is back safely, being covered there by the first baseman, East. And they'll check him again, and he is back in time. Couch reached on an E5, had a triple to left, a single to left, and an F7 RBI. They just keep throwing his direction. They haven't thrown to Couch yet.
I don't know if they're worried about Uribe or worried about Micah Couch.
I mean, if he had a triple yesterday, that is something to watch out for. First pitch to Couch is a called strike one. Carter Howe turns and fires. Uribe is off and running. That's a bunt. It's a good one. And the only play is to first. A great sacrifice there by Micah Couch to move Uribe into scoring position. That was a hit and run bunt sacrifice to guarantee Uribe makes it over to second. So that's a 1-3 sac BU. To take us to the designated hitter, Fiorentino. Second baseman Cabot shading in towards second base as a cover man, which is something that Waco did not do as much defensively. They split their defense evenly on either side of the second base bag, and those two middle infielders gave Bowie a really wide berth and a big opportunity to move around the base paths in the event of a wild pitch. Not the case for the Yellowjackets defense today. Ball one was the first pitch to Fiorentino. Next pitch home is going to clip that corner. The umpire is consistently calling that left-hand side of the plate, and so far both pitchers have been getting those calls. One ball, one strike, one out, one man in scoring position. He's going. They try to hit and run. The throw is not in time. Uribe gets a stolen base as he sneaks underneath the tag of the third baseman, Finley. It is a called strike at the plate. I believe he swung at it.
Yep.
So it's not a called strike. It's a swinging strike, and it's 1-2 now to Fiorentino.
Yeah, he was swinging away on that one, obviously trying to hit it, but also distracting the catcher at the plate while his runner takes third base.
So it's a 1-2 count now. Fiorentino's going to loft this to center field. This could be trouble. Catch is made. Here comes Uribe. The throw to the plate is not in time, and Bowie is on the scoreboard first here in this ball game. Fiorentino exactly does what is expected of him, and we'll see if our replay is a little bit better this time. It is, as you see Uribe tagging, the throw being wide, and Bowie strikes first blood. It's 1-0. Strike one at the plate here to Darian Brown. I'm trying to look at my crib notes from yesterday to see what kind of contribution he had. A single to right and 2 RBI, a triple to left and an RBI, a single to center field and an RBI. These young men have very lively bats. Trying to wake up the bat here, and he can't connect. That one bottoms out underneath his swing, and it's a ball and 2 strikes.
Small ball strategy worked here for Bowie as they've got 1 run on the board out there.
But that is all they will get as Brown is retired on strikes, and that ends the side. But not before Aiden Fiorentino does exactly what a DH should do and helps put a run on the board. We're headed to the bottom of the second. Bowie is up now 1-0. Back in a moment here on the Zap Network.
Modern West Windows and Doors is a partner of the Zap Network. They're also partnered with trusted industry leaders like Lowen, Weather Shield, and Simpas to guarantee quality product and installation. Whether you're searching for new concepts for your entryway, living room, dining room, bedroom, or even a workshop, Modern West has the solutions you're looking for. Visit the showroom at 1211 6th Avenue in Fort Worth or visit modernwestwindows.com.
Taqueria Taco Express is the official taqueria of Zach Arnold Productions, with locations in Arlington, Grand Prairie, Waxahachie, and a new location opening in Mansfield. Solving your Mexican food craving has never been easier. Visit them on Taco Tuesdays for their special 5 tacos and a large agua fresca for just $10. Find out more by visiting taqueriatacoexpress.com.
Bottom of the second getting underway. Pops, you were mentioning small ball, which is quite the contrast from the big ball that they had to contend with yesterday. But, I mean, runs are runs, and right now, Bowie able to strike first and get some momentum. They were held scoreless in a tightly contested game against Irving Nimitz. It was 1-0 through 6 innings before Nimitz's bats finally woke up against the relievers. So when there is a small ball situation, run production had been something that had been plaguing Bowie. Good to see them get on the board early today.
Yeah, it was just perfectly executed. I mean, Uribe did get on base with what we thought might have been an error on the shortstop, but then Micah Couch laid down a perfect bunt to push Uribe out to second, and then it was just an RBI academic from there. It was just really good job, the fly to right field.
Well, in the stolen base also.
Yeah.
Being able to take third that way. First pitch is a called strike to the pitcher, Carter Howe. 5-6-7 in the Jacket lineup this inning. Howe, Wyatt East, and Ryan Finley, the next man up. Tries to square up for a bunt and pulls back. Umpire says that one doesn't find the corner, too far outside, and it's 1-1. The appeal, and they say he went around. It's 1-2.
Good job by Raul Sanchez to ask for that appeal. Pick up a strike for his pitcher.
It's 1-2 now. A little bit high there. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Howe is listed as the pitcher/DH, so whenever his day is done, he'll remain in the lineup and DH for whoever the reliever is. Right to third, Uribe pops it in the glove, and it's wide of Sturhill. And there goes Howe to second base. That throw pulled Sturhill off of the bag. That's going to be an E5 and 2 bases for the Jackets. That's a very uncharacteristic play for Uribe. He even popped it in his glove and set his feet, but the throw was still wide. So it was a man in scoring position to lead things off for the Jackets. And we'll see if they try to play small ball as Sturhill now playing on the infield grass. Curveball drops in for a called strike 1 to the first baseman, Wyatt East.
We saw Vega pitch out of a jam in the last inning, so we'll see if he can do the same here for the Volunteers.
Middle infield trying to keep the runner close. Chopper to shortstop, and it's right to the gap. The runner has to hold, and there's no play as the runner kind of got in the way of the shortstop Martinez, and by the time he fielded it, the batter East was 3/4 of the way up the baseline. That's just an infield single. There's no fielding error. He just had to delay his approach in corralling that ball, and it puts runners on the corners now for Cleburne. Third baseman Ryan Finley in the 7-hole this morning. And they're going to step off of the plate. I'm surprised that wasn't a balk. That was such an awkward turn and fire to first base.
You know, as I've listened to and watched the game so far this year, there have been quite a few balks called for all the baseball teams as the pitchers kind of get used to getting back in the rhythm, and the umpires keeping an eye on it as well.
First pitch to the plate is ball 1 to Ryan Finley. Vega out of the stretch. Runner at first is going, and they will let him go as strike 1 is called. 2 runners in scoring position now as East gets a stolen base. 1-1 at the plate to Finley. And they get him to swing at one that dipped too far inside. It's a ball and 2 strikes now. That was a good cross-up pitch that really got the batter confused. Vega with the 1-2 now. And it's a breaking pitch that never breaks back into the opposite corner of the strike zone. It's 2-2. Finley's left toe is on the white stripe of the batter's box. He is really crowding that plate. And he's going to get a base hit up the middle. That's an RBI knock. Past the second baseman, and 2 runs are going to score on the RBI single by Ryan Finley. The Jackets take the lead. Just a good piece of hitting. He saw a pitch that he liked. He put it right back up the middle. The middle infielders were nowhere near the second base bag. And by the time Piper got it back into the cutoff man, the second run was just 5 feet away. So both Carter Howe and Wyatt East come in to score.
Still looking for that first out this inning with a runner at first now.
That one's going to get sawed off of the wrists and go off of the netting foul for strike 1. This is the second baseman, Ty Cabot. He'll be followed by the center fielder, Jake Watson. And that is the bottom of the Jacket order, 8 and 9 at the plate and on deck. Back to the top of the order after this. Vega's 0-1, runner goes. They try to square up for the bunt. They say he went around. It obstructed Sanchez, so it'll be a stolen base for Ryan Finley. But it'll be an 0-2 count at the plate to Cabot.
Yeah, I think the batter squared to the bunt position to kind of distract the catcher as his runner was heading down to second. Not sure he intended to make contact.
0-2 now, and time was not issued. Was it granted?
Yeah, the umpire put his left hand out, but Vega did a good job of following through just in case. But it was a very faint signal from the umpire.
Faint signal and a very late call for time by Cabot. I'm surprised it was granted. 0-2 again. This one is going to get fouled out of play. Sturhill took a look at it and decided it wasn't worth the effort. As long as it doesn't go towards our vehicles in the parking lots, I'm fine with them going out that way.
Yeah, I tried to park as far away as I could down that parking lot.
It's a combined entrance for the baseball and softball complexes here in just one parking lot. They'll throw over to second to check in on Ryan Finley. He dives back safely. No need to worry about getting the jersey dirty at this all-turf complex. The 0-2. Ripped past the glove of Sturhill and foul.
Foul.
Not by much.
A game of inches down there.
Pop's mentioning the all-turf facilities here. I saw in a post from head coach Sam that we were talking about earlier. Coach Joe Sam is publishing some stuff saying that Proposition C for the new bond is looking to install turf at certain athletic complexes here in Arlington ISD. That might be fun to see. 0-2 swung on and missed. Got him with the off-speeder.
Yeah, it'd be great to see that turf going into some of the baseball parks.
Baseball parks especially need it with the 6 schools that we've got here in the district, all of them playing on grass. There's so much potential for games to get washed out and having to be rescheduled or moved to other locations. We had to do Bowie versus Arlington from Grand Prairie last year.
Well, and it's an investment up front if the public approves the bond program, and it costs a lot of money. But then you're saving money consistently over the years by having to pay those other ballparks to go play whenever the fields get soggy.
Well, and you make a one-time investment, and then you don't have to worry about field conditions or repairs or anything like that ever again. The only thing you'd have to do is replace a patch of turf if something gets scuffed up, instead of having to re-sod the entire infield, all of the management you have to do to water down the dirt on the base paths. It's a 2-0 here to Jake Watson, now 3-0 as Vega's having trouble finding the strike zone to the 9-hole hitter.
One other aspect, I ran into Coach Brian Womack from Arlington High at the Ace Hardware one day, picking up fire ant poison.
You don't want to slide into third and slide into a fire ant bed, as strike 1 is issued to Watson. He's taken all the way, thought it was ball 4, but he'll have to step into the batter's box again. Coming up on the 40th pitch of the outing for Vega, according to the scoreboard in right field. And that'll be ball 4. Back to the top of the order in Manny Aguilar. He had a sharply hit ball over to first base that was covered well by Sturhill, and then the chasing Vega off the mound was able to step on first base just before Aguilar got there. A little bit of a different scenario now with 2 on and 1 out here in the second inning. He'll square up to bunt and pull back as that one dips below his knees for ball 1. Fans, if you subscribe to our channel and then wait just a brief 10 minutes, you can join the chat and let us know where you're tuning in from this morning. As he offered at it here, does Aguilar, and it's a ball and a strike now. Keep us company in that chat. There's only a couple of Bowie faithful here in the stands. We'd love to get to chat with you on the YouTube chat. We'll give you a shout out here on the broadcast as you're working this morning. They're going to step off of the plate and chase the runner back at second, but no throw is issued. Martinez wasn't really in position to retrieve it and apply a tag anyway, so that's a good call there by Vega to just hold on to it. Another bunt offer pulled back as a ball is issued. Trying to work his way out of a jam with minimal damage done. As we're making sure that our little sailboat here doesn't blow away. Gusty winds, but so far no rain here at Cleburne Ballpark. And that one's going to get fouled into home plate, and it'll bring the count to 2-2 for Manny Aguilar. You know what? I can deal with wind as long as it doesn't sweep in a whole bunch of sideways blowing rain that could affect our equipment. I am okay with gustiness as long as it doesn't get all over this several $100s worth of stuff we've got underneath our canopy tent. The 2-2 home is going to bounce off of his helmet. Vega went too far inside on that one, and the bases are loaded on the hit by pitch.
Yeah, it looked like a curveball that hung inside just a little bit too far, and that's going to prompt a visit from Coach Johnson.
Well, I mean, back-to-back innings, you find yourself in a jam. You haven't made it through 2 complete innings yet, and you've thrown 45 pitches, according to the scoreboard. I think this is an appropriate time to try to calm your pitcher down. He does have a couple of strikeouts, but there is probably a little bit of nervousness going on in Vega right now, just trying to minimize whatever damage Cleburne is trying to do here in the bottom of the second.
The gentleman that's coming up to bat now is the one that hit that hot shot over the third base line down to the coffin corner in the last inning. So Coach Johnson probably had some direction on where to deliver the pitch.
Right,
and
because you
keep
don't,
it out of his wheelhouse.
well, and you don't have anywhere to put him, so you still have to pitch to him.
Yep.
And that is going to be a called strike 1 to Dylan Staten. The right fielder sent it down the left field line over the head of Chris Uribe. And they're kind of pitching away from him there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Trying to go to that right-hand side of the strike zone. Was able to get the call on the first pitch, but not on this one. That one's going to get fouled off, kind of going to that opposite side of the strike zone again. Gets him to offer at it, and it's 1-2.
Be a great time for Vega to deliver his 3rd strikeout of the ball game here.
Not trying to invoke an announcer's jinx, but I think it would be a big confidence boost. The 1-2 now. Gets him to offer at it, headed for foul territory, and out of play to the grandstands close to the clubhouse. Just behind the third baseline there. And we'll do it again at 1-2.
Great little athletic complex here at Cleburne High. You mentioned the softball field right behind us, a big athletic locker room in between. Doubles as a big concession stand. Nice big restrooms. It's a nice ballpark complex.
1-2. Off the end of the bat and foul. A good battle here between Andrew Vega and Dylan Staten.
Not quite as nice as the ballpark complex we saw at Gregory Portland down in the Corpus Christi area. I drove by the Railroaders Park a while ago. I'm not kidding you. I'm sure that high school ballpark was nicer than the Railroaders Park. Fancier and nicer and bigger. It was, for a high school complex, that was amazing.
2 balls and 2 strikes now. Yeah, we definitely got to experience some new facilities during that Corpus Christi trip. Arlington went 2-3 on the weekend, but we went 5 for 5 in having a good time.
5 for 5, that's good.
The 2-2 now. Another one off the end of the bat. If this were a Bee Gees concert, we'd be playing Staying Alive about now.
The guys at Tolosa Midway did that for us.
They did do that.
Quite a bit.
Sometimes you only have a certain number of songs in your set list. Vega fires again.
Oh,
and it's just a bit too high. Just over the lettering on the jerseys, and the count runs full.
Looked good from our perch up high atop the stands here at Cleburne Park.
Did not quite drop in enough. Payoff pitch. Catches the corner, and he is out looking. Best pitch right here from Andrew Vega, and there's 2 away for Bo Douthit.
Bo was strikeout victim himself the first time up this game.
This one's in play, headed for right field. Chasing, and nobody's got it. 1 run is home. 2 runs are home. 3 runs are home on a bloop RBI double. They'll throw to third, and he'll take it because they didn't get it into the infield. It's technically a double. I don't know how you do the advance unless you call it an advance on the throw. But the right fielder, Brown, just had a really hard time chasing it in this swirling wind, and Juan Mendez didn't come up enough from second base either, and there's just a runner at third now.
Well, like you said, the wind is just wreaking havoc on everything from our tent to the ball players.
And just like that, it's a 5-1 ball game. Crazy how one swing of the bat gives you a bunch of momentum, feels like you're about to get out of the inning, and then another swing of the bat right after makes it a 5-1 advantage for the Yellow Jackets.
Well, it was kind of a Texas leaguer. It was in no man's land between the right fielder, second base, and the first baseman. It was hit high, but then the wind took care of it, and it was just a mess.
First pitch was a strike to Ballinger. This next one's too far inside. It's 1-1.
Brown was on his horse, running just as fast as he could.
He lost his hat trying to catch up to it. You have to admire the effort.
Yeah, Mendez and Sturgill were backpedaling, so they had a tough angle on it.
Speaking of a tough angle, that one was sharply hit foul, and it's a ball and 2 strikes now to Ballinger.
We do need to go ahead and get this guy out so I don't mess up my scorebook.
Oh, are we on the verge of batting around?
This is the 9th batter of the inning. So come on, Vega.
For Pops' sake.
No pressure.
In play, and that's a base hit that'll bring in another run.
I had to say something.
Catcher will get a courtesy runner over at first base as the score moves to 6-1 in favor of the home team. No activity in the Bowie bullpen. If Coach Johnson makes a change, it may have to be from the field as Vega delivers ball 1 here. Carter Howe reached on a E5, made it all the way to second base, and then came around to score. This one's sharply hit, also past the diving shortstop, and also a clean base hit. Martinez just maybe doesn't have the range to get to balls that are sent that way, or he's shading too close to second, but it's almost the exact same placement and almost the exact same result on this base hit to left. Wyatt East got a single on that weird infield hit that went to Josue Martinez. And that one cannot find the strike zone for ball 1. I feel like that has been called before, but might have been too low this time. They'll check on the runner, and it'll stay around the second base bag. He's back in plenty of time as the wind continues to pick up. I feel like we're just going to say the word wind or gust or blustery or all kinds of crazy things throughout our time here today at Cleburne High.
Yeah, and I thought this was Friday, not Wednesday.
This one's in the air. Martinez makes the grab, and East is retired on the F6. Bowie got to 2 outs with the bases loaded, and then the wind played havoc to plate 3 and give Cleburne a 6-1 advantage as we're through 2. Back to the 3rd inning in a moment here on ZAP after this.
John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
Field Ops North Texas is the trusted name in athletic field marketing for schools, teams, leagues, and tournaments. They even do commercial landscaping. The better question is, what can't they do? With fast turnaround times and proven expertise, they make sure your grounds look unbeatable every time. Call 817-908-2194 to find out more.
Welcome back to Yellowjacket Stadium from Cleburne, Texas, home of the Cleburne Yellowjackets. Top of the 3rd inning as Bowie comes getting ready to come up to bat. And the 3rd inning is presented by the folks at Field Ops. Switch out the graphics in the upper left corner of your screen there. Field Ops does more than just field markings. They also do commercial landscaping. Find out all that John Kling can do by calling 817-908-2194. The third inning brought to you by Field Ops. We'll be bringing up their bottom of the order, the 8, 9, and 1 batters coming up to bat. Roel Sanchez, the second baseman, leading off. Zion Sturgill, the first baseman, on deck. And then back to the top of the order to Josue Martinez, today's shortstop. Carter Howe continues on the mound for Cleburne as we reset everything on the scorebook for you and we get ready for the first pitch. First pitch is a little bit down for ball 1.
Sanchez showed a lot of patience at the plate yesterday. A total of 3 walks to go with a single and an RBI, reaching safely in all 4 plate appearances against Waco yesterday.
Next pitch is swung on and hit foul to the right side. Makes Coach Johnson take a little skip and a hop there in the coach's box, and the count evens at 1-1. This is Sanchez's first at bat today. Howe comes set in the 1-1 pitch. Bunt headed backward to the pitcher. Pitcher fields it cleanly, tosses over to Wyatt East, and it'll be a 1-3 putout for the first out of the inning.
Interesting approach there by Sanchez. I think he was trying to catch the defense off guard, but the way you do that is by sending it up the baseline so that the pitcher has to chase. When you send it straight back up the middle like that, he doesn't have to do very much. He just kind of waited for it and then turned and delivered the throw over to the first baseman East for the first out.
That'll bring up Zion Sturgill, the first baseman, for his first appearance at the plate today, and he takes a big cut at the first delivery from Howe for strike 1.
Sturgill got aboard every single time yesterday, and every single time, Pops, it was a hit by pitch.
Oh, that's taking one for the team times 3. Swing and a miss on the second delivery from Howe. Count runs to 0-2 on Zion Sturgill. Bowie looking to get some offense going here in the top of the third. The 0-2 delivery, high for ball 1. The catcher, Xander Ballinger, stood up in the catcher's box. We kind of anticipated that one might be high, trying to get Sturgill to swing at one out of the strike zone.
He's had a couple of big cuts. I like the approach and the placement.
The 1-2 pitch swung on and missed for strike 3.
So Howe has worked his way through the entire lineup, and he has recorded 4 strikeouts of the 9 batters that he's faced. That's a pretty good ratio.
Yeah. That'll take us back to the top of the Bowie order. Shortstop, Josue Martinez, who himself was a strikeout victim his first at bat in the first inning. 2 outs here in the top of the third. Howe's first pitch. Blowing in the brown carpet. It's supposed to be the dirt. We still haven't figured out exactly what to call that.
Carpet. That's funny.
1 ball, no strikes to Martinez. 1-0 delivery. Catches that outside corner for a called strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike.
That left-hand part of the plate has been called all morning. Batters are going to have to adjust at some point.
Yeah, this umpire has a what we call a loose outside corner. Next pitch is fouled into the parking lot.
See, and that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Martinez now knows that the stuff that's on that corner is stuff that he's going to have to offer at, but his timing is off because he wasn't anticipating having to offer at stuff over there.
When I umpired, I would say I had a tight inside corner, which is where I would sit over the catcher's left shoulder, and a loose outside corner. That ball's up and inside for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs on Josue Martinez. Hal working quickly here, and he's looking in for the sign, and he comes set. The 2-2 delivery. Swung on and skied to the right side. Second baseman Cavett calling for it. And he catches it and puts it away. And that's the third out of the inning. So we are midway through the third inning. Score 6-1 Cleburne. With them coming to bat, we'll step away and visit our sponsors. This is high school baseball, Bowie Volunteer Baseball, brought to you by Zach Arnold Productions, sponsored by John Wade Roofing.
Are you a small business owner looking for reliable insurance coverage? Or perhaps you're navigating the complexities of Medicare? Look no further. Chapman Cornelius Insurance Services is a family-owned, independent insurance agency with over 50 years of experience with tailored insurance solutions for small businesses and their owners. Whether you need home and auto, business insurance, or individual or group medical, Chapman Cornelius has knowledgeable agents who will help you select just what you need. Call April Chapman or Jason Ott at 817-265-3346.
Looking for a plumber you can rely on? Pipe & Peak handles all your residential plumbing needs. From tunneling and slab bleaks to camera inspection and sewer repair, and even cast iron replacement. They offer competitive pricing and now offer financing to make repairs easier to manage. Family owned and trusted for over 16 years, they treat every home like their own. Call 817-807-7069 to get your free quote and get your plumbing handled right.
Welcome back to the bottom of the third inning as Andrew Vega takes the mound for his third inning of work. Want to mention the Bowie Volunteers. Bowie High School is named after the Texas hero James Bowie. Today is the anniversary of the fall of the Alamo. It was on this day that the valiant warriors held for 13 days, giving Sam Houston enough time to gather an army over at San Jacinto and put a stop to the invading Mexican army, securing Texas freedom. Oh, those many years ago. Remember the Alamo.
It's always a very somber time when we go down to San Antonio and visit what remains. Yes, it's a little bit of a tourist attraction now. It's right next to the Riverwalk, but its history is no less important.
First hit by Stanley, who's the first. Ryan Finley up to bat, goes to right field, fielded there by Darian Brown, and the first runner is aboard here for the Cleburne Yellowjackets. One of Bowie's sayings is cross the line, and that's a famous line from the Alamo where the commander challenged the defenders. If you stand with Texas, cross the line I just drew in the sand. Most of them crossed the line and sacrificed their lives.
Speaking of a sacrifice.
There you go. Attempted sacrifice, bunt down the left field line. The third base line is a strike. Ty Cavett at bat right now with a runner at first base. Jake Watson on deck. These are the 7, 8, 9 batters are the 1, 2, 3. Finley aboard right now. Manny Aguilar, top of the order, is in the hole. 0-1 to the current batter, Ty Cavett. Vega sets and then steps off the back of the rubber. Wasn't quite comfortable with the lead being taken by Ryan Finley. He takes a look over his left shoulder. Long time. The batter asks for time. The umpire gives it, so there is no play. The runner will have to go back to first. The timeout was granted. No pitch on the play.
It's probably not to Cavett's advantage because I feel like Finley would have been in standing up if he had been allowed to take the base.
Yeah. Vega's just taking a long time between pitches here. We've seen a couple of batters request time that was granted at the very last second. Still an 0-1 count here on Cavett. Vega's delivery home is swung on and hit towards second base, high in the air. Mendez under it and takes it for the out.
When stuff is swirling like that, it's either to the batter's heavy advantage or heavily to his disadvantage. A couple of times it has been to Cleburne's advantage to have it up in the swirling winds. This time it goes Bowie's way as Mendez collects out number 1.
That'll bring up Jake Watson, the center fielder, and a throw over to first base. Tag applied there by Zion Sturgill, but the runner, Mr. Finley, gets back safely. Jake Watson, the number 9 hole hitter, drew a walk and scored a run in the last inning. He squares to bunt. He does bunt it up in the air, and it's going to just be out of reach of Uribe coming down the line for a strike.
Yeah, it's a good chase by Christian Uribe, but there's only so far that your range is able to take you sometimes.
Sure. When you see one pop up in the air like that, you kind of hope for it to hang there.
You get excited, but the wind is kind of blowing in from right field and may have pushed it down a little bit faster than most pop-up situations like that.
Another check in over at first base. Finley gets back safely again, diving this time as he's testing the limit of Vega. Pitch home, bounces off the batter in the batter's box. It's just a foul ball. Count runs to no balls and 2 strikes on the batter, Jake Watson.
Looks like there is some activity in the Bowie bullpen as Vega, according to the scoreboard, approaching 70 pitches on the day.
Vega set the 0-2 delivery. Swung on and hit to the right side, foul. Count will stay at 0-2.
The light pole is just getting in my way, so I'm not able to see exactly who is warming up, but if there is a pitching change presented by Pipe and Peak, we'll be sure to let you know.
But there's no way to Another toss over to first base, and runner gets back again. 1-2 the count to the batter here as Vega is very preoccupied with the runner Finley over at first base. Finley stretching that lead off where that right foot is on the edge of the cutout. Vega's 1-2 pitch home. Swung on and chopped down the foul into the third base dugout. Quite a battle going on here between Jake Watson and Andrew Vega. Manny Aguilar, should he get the opportunity, is on deck for the Yellowjackets. Pitch home, ball outside. Runner takes off for second, and the ball skips into the base. Juan Mendez not able to handle it. Josue Martinez backing him up so that the batter runner stays at second base.
Finley with a clean steal. That was a pretty good throw by Sanchez. Maybe off timing by a half second at worst.
2-2 pitch, called strike 3. Vega picks up the second out of the inning with catching the batter looking on that play. And that takes us to 2 outs in the top of the order. Manny Aguilar with a runner at second. Trying to,
even after the rough inning that he had an inning ago, Vega continues to battle, and you have to admire that.
First pitch is swung on and hit. It's going to be over the second baseman's head into the field. Coach sending the runner home all the way. The throw coming back in the infield is cut off by Vega, and another run will score for the Yellowjackets here. Base hit and an RBI for Manny Aguilar. And that takes our score to 7-1 in the favor of the home team.
And I mentioned at the top of the broadcast that this is a team that won 21 games last year. A lot of returning players, and there's just a lot of experience, and you're on your home ballpark.
First pitch to Staten, the runner takes off and gets into second base easily on a straight steal. Strike at the plate on Staten.
We said that this would probably be the toughest test of the tournament. The Volunteers have the 4A Springtown Porcupines due up in the second game of the doubleheader. Not to discredit a team that's 4A. We've seen 4A teams beat 6A teams in tournaments like this all the time. But
this pitch is hit straight to the second baseman, Mendez, and he snags it on a line for the third out of the inning. Good play there by Josue Mendez to retire the side.
Juan Mendez.
Juan Mendez. Sorry, Juan.
Josue Martinez is at short.
Mr. Mendez makes the catch on the L4, we're going to give it, for the third out of the inning. Good play there to hold the scoring to just one run in that inning. We'll step aside and visit our sponsors. This is high school baseball. Bowie Volunteers, presented by Zach Arnold Productions, sponsored by John Wade Roofing. We'll be right back.
Modern West Windows and Doors invites you to see the difference. Whether you need sliding doors, bay windows, or just need a more modern look, Modern West has options to fit both your style and budget. Stop by the showroom at 1211 6th Avenue in Fort Worth to see for yourself, or call 682-255-6094 for more information.
Hey, this is John Wade Jr., Colt Football 97, class of 98. And the next time you have a roofing issue, be sure and call Arlington's favorite roofer, John Wade Roofing. Look us up on the internet at johnwaderoofing.com.
The fourth inning is presented by Trinity Logistics Services. Don't let hauling be a hassle. Trinity has dumpsters that can fit any size project, 10 feet, 20 feet, 30 feet. And they drop off and pick up so you can focus on cleaning up a win for your home or business. Call Chet Soto at 817-693-1302 to find out more. The fourth inning, presented by Trinity Logistics Services.
All right, Zach, thanks for that reader. We always value our sponsors and want to give them all the love we can because they make it possible for us to bring you Bowie High School volunteer baseball today. Starting off the inning, the pitcher, Andrew Vega, will be leading off. On deck, Isaiah Piper, the center fielder, and in the hole, Christian Uribe, the third baseman for the Vols. Vega, Piper, Uribe, 1, 2, 3 this inning as Howe prepares to start his fourth inning of work, and his first delivery is down low for ball one.
Yeah, he only needed 12 pitches to get through Bowie's 1, 2, 3 half inning an inning ago, keeping his pitch count down and the number of runs down, as he gave up just that one run on Bowie's small ball back in the second inning.
And second pitch is in there on that low outside corner where it's been called all day consistently for strike one. 1-1 to the leadoff hitter, Vega. Next pitch from Howe, in there for a called strike. Count runs to 1 ball and 2 strikes on the leadoff hitter, Vega. Howe comes set. 1-2 delivery. Swung on a hit right up the middle. Second baseman Cabot gets to it, throws across his body, but the ball bounces and gets away from first baseman Wyatt East, and Vega is aboard. We're going to give him a hit on that because that was a tough play.
Yeah, we'll give him a hit, but that was to the infield. It was to second base, and if he throws it cleanly, he's out.
Well, that's true. So an error on the second baseman.
It's really tough because yes, Vega has a lot of speed, and that was a chopper. It was a slow roller. It wasn't directly to him. I'm okay with giving him the single, and he'll get the stolen base here as that pops out of the glove of Ballinger. I'm comfortable with an infield single. I would not complain if it ended up being an E4 because at the varsity level, that is a play you should make.
So the ball gets away at the plate on Piper, and it's a 1 ball count to Piper. And on the ball that gets away, Vega takes second base. So Vega now at second.
He was off at running, so it's a clean steal. It just popped out of the glove of Ballinger, and he didn't have a play.
This pitch is swung on and hit to the right side by Piper. 3 fielders chasing it, and we'll have to watch the umpire. Yes, they do get the out.
Wow.
It looked like the first baseman, Wyatt East, traveled over there all the way almost to the fence to get that out. Vega stays at second base. Piper retired. It's a long
it's an
fly 3.
FO3. It's a foul out because it's in foul territory.
Yep.
but just a lot of great hustle there from East as he moves further east into foul territory to collect the out.
Yeah, good play there, especially with the wind as the velocity that we're getting today, keeping that ball up in the air. That brings up Christian Uribe. First hit pitch to him, gets away from the catcher Ballinger, but he locates it under his feet very quickly, but it's a ball one count to Uribe.
Yeah, Uribe reached on an E6, and we mentioned yesterday's game against Waco. A single, fielder's choice. He's just been getting on base consistently this entire tournament slate.
Hal takes a look at Vega. The pitch home. Swung on and chopped in the infield. Way high chop. High bounce to the shortstop. Does he get there? Yes, the umpire punches him out from behind
Goodness.
the mound. That was a bang play. Pushes Vega over to third base, but that was a very close play on that high chopper in the infield for the 6-3 putout.
I disagree, but I'm just the announcer. I'm not the official.
That'll bring up Micah Couch, today's left fielder for the Volunteers. 2 outs now in the inning and a runner in scoring position.
Micah sacrificed himself beautifully to help get Bowie to that first run.
Ball gets away at the plate. Here comes Vega. He's going to waltz in standing for Bowie's second run of the ball game.
That's another one that got beneath the glove of Ballinger, and it just went past everybody. And Vega, with the speed to steal second, also had the speed to come home, and it's now 7-2.
1-0 pitch from Howell on its way. That ball's a little bit too far low and outside for ball 2. Should he get the opportunity, Adam Fiorentino on deck taking some cuts. Micah Couch with a 2-0 count at the plate and 2 outs, and the bases are now empty. Swung on and missed at the plate for strike 1. Coach Alex Johnson coaching first base. Coach Nolan Crowdis, the Bowie coach, over at third base. The pitch home, swung on and hit, chopped out to second base. Cabot able to field it, throws it on to first. East takes care of it, and which hires the Volunteers here in the top of the 4th inning. So the 4-3 putout ends the inning. As we see these final innings unfold, Modern West invites you to see the difference new windows can make in your home. Visit modernwestwindows.com to learn more about the sponsors of the ZAP 4th inning stretch. We'll be back right after this.
When your high school field needs to look game ready, trust John Kling and the pros at Field Ops North Texas. This veteran-owned team delivers fast turnaround and long-lasting field striping for football, soccer, lacrosse, and more, using professional-grade paint and equipment. Field Ops proudly serves schools and communities across North Texas, helping student-athletes compete on fields that look as good as they play. Get a free quote today by visiting gofieldops.com/north-texas.
Navigating Medicare options isn't easy. Hi, I'm Patsy Arnold, and when the time came to navigate my options, I went to Chapman Cornelius. They helped me find the best plan for my needs, quoted me life insurance options, and guided me in making my decisions every step of the way. They want to do the same for you, so give them a call at 817-265-3346 or visit chapman-cornelius.com.
A new pitcher came down the pipe during this commercial break, and if your pipes break, be sure to call Caleb Renfro at Pipe and Peak Plumbing, 817-807-7069. New man on the mound for the Volunteers. 4 innings and 4 strikeouts and over 75 pitches for Andrew Vega. His day is done, and he'll be replaced by number 22, Andrew Calzada. Calzada now on the mound. Looks like Vega is headed out to shortstop, so he'll remain in the lineup. And I see number 2 at short. Let's see if
It looks like Uribe's still there at
Uribe's
third.
still at third. Who is at second base? Because second base was being DH'd for. I have a feeling he got slid out.
Number 8. Jose Martinez.
That's Martinez. So Martinez goes from short to second, and Juan Mendez is done for the day.
The batting order for Cleburne this half inning. Leadoff man, Bo Douthit, chops one down the third base line. Uribe fields it, but it's foul. Douthit leading off. Xander Ballinger, the catcher, on deck. Carter Howe, the pitcher, who's been having a good afternoon so far, is in the hole. Douthit, Ballinger, and Howe, 1, 2, 3 for the Jackets here. Next pitch may have been called a strike earlier in the ballgame. 1-1, a little bit low and outside, says the umpire. He has a much better angle on it than we do. Got to trust him.
We're in the back of the grandstands.
Curveball hangs a little bit high and inside for ball 2.
Just about 10 to 15 feet to the right of the home press box. They have their own radio crew, so we kind of makeshifted our own press box in the grandstands here since we weren't anticipating that many Bowie faithful being able to make it out to the ballpark today. We got a pretty decent contingent in the YouTube chat. Be sure to copy the link and send it to your friends and family, as we'll be covering this game and the Springtown game immediately after this one is done.
3-1 the count to the leadoff hitter, Douthit. Swung on and hit to Uribe. He fields it. Long throw from diamond to diamond, and it's missed at first base. It gets away from the first baseman, Zion Sturgill, and Douthit will take second on the error.
That's an error on somebody, but this is the second time that it's happened, and I have a hard time blaming Uribe every time. It didn't pull Sturgill off the bag. I just think he didn't field it. He didn't catch it.
E3.
I think that's an E3.
Puts a runner at second base. And that'll bring up Xander Ballinger. Ballinger a single in his first time at bat this afternoon during that long second inning. First pitch to him is down low for ball 1. Runner at second base, and Bo Douthit, runner in scoring position. Nobody out here so far. Calzana takes a look at the runner, comes home, and hits the batter. Dead ball situation, so the runner cannot advance on that. And that'll put 2 runners on and bring up Carter Howe, the pitcher for the afternoon. There'll be a new runner at first base, number 22 for Cleburne.
You keep wanting to say Cleveland.
I do.
Towson Seahawk.
That's a good sports name.
Runners are going. The throw, the tag is
Out!
in time.
Out at third.
Seahawk will take second.
Now with 1 out in the inning, based on the pickoff at third base, Carter Howe has a 1-strike count on him at the plate, and there's 1 out in the inning, and a runner still at second base.
Ooh.
Well, it's a little bit low and outside, but Sanchez does a good job of snagging it so it doesn't get by him at the plate. Count evens. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 runner out at second base. Next delivery to Howe is low and outside for ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike on the Jackets pitcher, Carter Howe. Calzana comes set. Low and outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Hitters count.
I think he's trying to throw a slider, but with his slingshot release motion, I think he's letting go of the ball too late.
3-1 pitch. Swung on and hit down the left side, but foul. Count goes full. 3 balls and 2 strikes as Howe got out in front of that a little bit and pulled it. And the Yellowjackets players running down that left field line to go retrieve that ball.
Pops, even with the 9 combined runs that have been scored.
That one does get by the plate. Ball 4, but the runner advances over to third. So now runners at the corners after the walk issued by Calzana.
I was about to say, we're moving at a pretty decent pace. Coming up on nearly 4 complete in just about 70 minutes of game time. These tournaments have 2-hour time limits, so we may not play the full 7 innings today, depending on how the rest of this game progresses.
Wyatt East now taking another turn at the plate.
Hit and run.
Hit and run, and he pulls it down that left field line again for a strike 1. Runner at first was taking off on the pitch. We have runners at the corners here with 1 out in the inning. Calzana comes set. The 0-1 pitch, the runner takes off again.
And
Called strike at the plate, and they just let him go.
I think that's the right approach, because if you can get this out and get out number 2, then it's a little bit easier on your defense to just try to collect that third out. So focus on the man at the plate for now.
0-2 on the batter East. Runners at second and third. Swung on and fouled to the right side. Count will stay 0-2. Umpire needing some more baseballs. Some of those balls have been fouled down that left field line. Get returned to him by the on deck batter Ryan Finley. Wyatt East got a single in his first at bat and a fly out to shortstop. This is a little flare to the shortstop. It's just out of the reach of the shortstop into center field. Runner comes home from third. Puts the 8th run on the board for the Jackets. It leaves runners at the corners with still just 1 out. Ballinger comes in to score. That pushes Howe over to third.
Might have been Ballinger's runner, Seahawk.
Right, you're right, it's Seahawk.
But regardless, it's 8-2 now.
That brings up the third baseman, Ryan Finley, left-handed batting third baseman. Runners at the corners here. New score, 8-2, Cleburne. First pitch is a called strike 1. Runner goes from first to second as the catcher, Mr. Sanchez, just eats it.
Well, he thought about throwing and didn't have the proper coverage at second base. And then he faked back towards third. It might be interesting to see if they can incorporate something into their defense that makes it look like a throw, even though it's not. I've seen Arlington do it before, where the catcher jumps up, pops the glove, and makes a throw, but it actually goes back to the pitcher instead of going all the way down to second base. It fools the runner at third into thinking he's safe to come home.
Pitch almost fouled to the left side over the third base stands. Count runs to 1 ball. I have 2 strikes. I'm going to watch the umpire.
Our friend Yadi Pagan, ever present in the Bowie faithful chats as well.
Calzana's delivery. Low and inside. Skitters away from Sanchez just a little bit, but he's able to jump on it quickly.
He says it's sweltering and windy over at Martin High. The wind is mid-80s, but with the wind, it's almost 70. So I think without the wind is what he's saying. It would be around 80 degrees. It's rather chilly up here right now.
2-2 the count. The pitch swung on and fouled again over at the left side. Ryan Finley hanging in there.
It's a good battle between these two young men.
2-2, 2 on. Calzana trying to bear down here and retire Finley. 2-2 delivery. Gets away from Sanchez again, but not far enough for the runner to advance. Count runs full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. shout out to Yachty, the Golden Pipes. Yachty Pagan, voice of the Volunteers. Payoff pitch coming from Calzana. Outside and away for ball 4. That loads the bases. Howe over at third. Wyatt East down to second. Finley at first. And that'll bring up the number 8 hole hitter, Ty Cavett. Cavett playing second base for the Jackets today. Struck out and flew to second his 2 times up today. Like a repeat performance here. Hit straight up the middle, fielded by Vega. Throw to second, gets the force out there, but another run comes home.
6-4 fielder's choice RBI for Cavett.
Carter Howe comes in to score. 9th run goes on the board. Wyatt East over to third. Finley out at second. That is the second out of the inning. Brings up Jake Wilson. Watson at bat for his 3rd time this afternoon. Walked and struck out his 2 times previously.
Sure feels like afternoon, doesn't it?
Isn't it? 11:16.
11:16. We got here super early, and it's still morning baseball for the next 45 minutes or so.
1 ball pitch. In there for a called strike 1. Runner takes second base unopposed.
I would say that's just defensive indifference. I don't know if I would call that a steal or not.
An advance. Cavett at second. Wyatt at East at third. The pitch home. Called strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes here on Jake Watson. 2 outs in the inning. Calzana looking to work himself out of this bottom of the 4th inning jam. Pitch swung on and tapped out to short. Vega makes the play, throws across the diamond, caught cleanly by Sturgill, and the Jackets are retired on the 6-3 putout to end the inning.
Plenty of run support for the pitcher Carter Howe as they tack on 2 more and extend their lead. It's now 9-2 in favor of Cleburne when we come back here on the Zap Network, presented by John Wade Roofing.
Modern West Windows and Doors is a partner of the Zap Network. They're also partnered with trusted industry leaders like Lowen, Weather Shield, and Simpus to guarantee quality product and installation. Whether you're searching for new concepts for your entryway, living room, dining room, bedroom, or even a workshop, Modern West has the solutions you're looking for. Visit the showroom at 1211 6th Avenue in Fort Worth or visit modernwestwindows.com. Whenever a plumbing problem hits your home, experience matters. Pipe & Peak is a family-owned residential plumbing company with 16 years of experience that you can trust. They handle everything from yard leaks and slab leaks to tunnel work, and they're specialists in replacing old cast iron pipe. No job is too big or too small, and their pricing stays competitive. If you're seeing signs of aging pipes, now's the time to act. Send an email to Caleb Renfro to see how Pipe & Peak can help your home.
On to the 5th inning we go here at the home of the Yellowjackets in Cleburne, Texas, also the home of the Cleburne Railroaders. Now owned by REV Entertainment, the entertainment hosting group for the Texas Rangers and Texas Live back in Arlington. Coach Johnson just lost his hat out there up along the first baseline. If that's not a testament to how blustery of a day we've got here today, I don't know what is. Man was just walking to his position in the coaching box and lost his lid.
The gustiness of this wind, it just comes and goes. But it's probably the flag out in center field is really taking a beating.
Our tent is taking a beating, and we've still got another game to do. Fiorentino leads off the top of the 5th with a chopper up the third baseline. It'll go foul for strike 1. He collected one of the 2 RBI of the day with the F8 in his first at-bat that put Bowie on the board back in the second inning, and then since then it's been a 9-1 run by the Jackets. Aside from the triple that didn't amount to anything, it's just been putting it where the defense isn't. It's not been big ball, it's been a collection of small ball as Fiorentino looks at strike 2. It's just been contact, a couple of errors here and there, the wind assisting with a base hit to right, but not any home runs or anything, you know, drastic like that. Just piling on the base hits and bringing in runners when they get on base. The 1-2 now to Adam is too low for ball number 2.
The ball gets past the catcher, Xander Ballinger, and back to the big golden C. Retrieved there by the on-deck batter, Darian Brown. Runs that count even to 2-2.
Righty comes set, takes his time on the delivery, and finally comes home. And it was worth the wait as he collects strikeout number 5 and sends Fiorentino back to the dugout. Brown was also a strikeout victim during his last plate appearance. Carter Howe with 5 strikeouts going into this 5th inning. Basically a strikeout per inning appearance for the young man. Right fielder Howe squares up to bunt, puts it up in the air, and the catcher Ballinger can't catch up to it. It's 0-1.
Fortunate there. We mentioned those popped up bunts are a danger of being caught just out of the reach of Ballinger.
See, the Springtown Porcupines have arrived and are doing some stretches and warm-ups behind the third base dugout.
One of my favorite high school mascots, the Porcupines.
Texas has some great mascots. The state of Texas has all kinds of great mascots as ball 1 is delivered to Brown. My favorite is the Hutto Hippos.
Oh, yeah.
I love Hutto Hippos. New Braunfels is the Unicorns.
Yeah.
The Amarillo Sandies. There's so many fun names. Round Rock is the Dragons.
The Mesquite Skeeters.
The Skeeters. I love those.
I like the play on the alliteration.
The alliteration, yep.
Yeah. Mesquite Skeeters. Love it.
Strike 2.
The 40 Jackrabbits. We don't
Strike
have any
2 there to
jackalopes,
Brown.
though, do we?
No, but we do have the Itasca Wampus Cats.
There you go.
1-2 is swung on and missed as Darian Brown is retired. 6 strikeouts now for Carter Howe. And that'll take us to the catcher, Raul Sanchez. Tried a
Wampus
bunt.
Cats.
Wampus Cats.
Yeah. What is a Wampus Cat? We'll have to ask your brother.
I looked it up one time. It's a mythical creature.
Oh, okay.
That's like part wildcat and part some other swamp creature.
Well, then we should have some chupacabras somewhere.
That sounds like something a team in the Rio Grande Valley might have. First pitch swinging, charging at it as the shortstop, and Aguilar will make the throw to East for the 6-3 putout, and that will send Bowie down in order. Another 1-2-3 inning for Howe as he still has yet to clip 60 pitches, and his team's ahead by 7 as we go to the bottom of the 5th here on the Zap Network.
John Wade Roofing is celebrating 40 years serving the Arlington area. John Sr. played for Colt football and was the team MVP in '76. He went on to play for TCU, earning all conference honors. The family has a Colt legacy that spans generations and wants to help your family's roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, and more. For more information, go to johnwaderoofing.com.
Taquería Taco Express es la taquería oficial de Zach Arnold Productions. Con un amplio y auténtico menú, satisface tus antojos o prepara tu próximo evento con nosotros. Visítanos todos los martes para disfrutar de Taco Tuesday con 5 tacos y un agua fresca por solo $10. Para encontrar sucursales cercanas o hacer pedidos en línea, visita taqueriatacoexpress.com.
Back to Cleburne, Texas, and to follow up on our conversation from earlier, I'm just confirming we have the same pitcher coming back out. I don't know if we do. I can't tell if that's a 2-1 or a 2-2. I think that's a 2-2.
We'll see when he follows through on the pitch here. We'll watch it.
We'll know for sure.
2-2.
That's a 2-2. So a wampus cat is a fearsome legendary creature of Appalachian folklore, often described as a 6-legged supernatural feline with glowing yellow eyes, terrifying scream, and the ability to walk on its hind legs.
Oh no, that's the stuff of nightmares right there.
And I guess that's why the little town of Itasca off of 35 on your way to Hillsboro decided to choose that as their mascot.
Yeah, it reminds me of a text I sent to your mom this morning. I was trying to use voice to text, and you had told me you were going to, we call it Cruddy Kroger.
Because it's so cruddy.
It is so cruggy. And you know what? It came out. Zach has to go pick up meds at Freddy Krueger.
That sounds about right.
I wrote her back and I said, voice to text is my worst enema.
Yep. Aguilar leading things off here as Calzada back out for another inning of work. It's ball 1-2 in there. You know, I would not be surprised if I came across Freddy Krueger at that Kroger.
Yes.
Check swing. Must be too far inside. And it's ball 2. The only reason I continue to use that pharmacy is because of our family pharmacist who has been there for almost 20 years. I only see him maybe once a month when I go to refill my prescription. And he still remembers my name, and he still asks me how you're doing, how my wife's doing. Like,
it's like a small town.
That is as personal a touch as you could ever ask from anybody, let alone your pharmacist that you don't see as often as most other people that you would.
Good old Jimmy.
2 balls and a strike here to Manny. Aguilar is officially 1 for 2 on the day, and he's about to go 1 for 3 as long as Sturgill is able to corral this one. Martinez gets it over to him for the 4-3 putout.
Good play there by Martinez. The ball took a funny hop on him at the last minute, and he corralled it in his glove and off of his chest and then back into his glove to stay in front of it and make the out.
A little bit high on the throw, but luckily Zion Sturgill was tall enough to be able to bring it in. That'll take us to the right fielder, Staten. Lined out to second base, his last plate appearance, but also has a triple down the left field line today.
Zach, the sun's trying to make an appearance here this afternoon.
Where are the Beatles? Because here comes the sun. 1-0 is now 1-1 as Calzada finds the opposite side of the plate. You know, I'm not going to complain that much, Pops, because the tent not only serves as a little bit of shelter from rain, but a little bit of shelter from the sun on these bleachers that are all metal. Chopper to first. It's a race over to first base, and Calzada is going to win that foot race as he charges over to help Sturgill collect the 3-1 putout of Staten.
Good start for the Volunteer defense here, retiring the first 2 batters here at the top of the Jackets order.
That'll take us to Douthit, whose bloop double to right field kind of broke this ball game open, and he takes a look at ball 1 inside. At the time that Douthit came up to the plate, there were 2 outs with the bases loaded.
Yeah.
And if Bowie had been able to collect that 3rd out, then it would have been a 2-1 Jacket ball game instead of 6-1 by the end of that inning. So 1 swing of the bat can change the ball game.
I'm having to physically hold down the computer to keep it from blowing into my lap.
A true laptop.
Yes.
Chopper foul again as it goes to 1-2 here on the batter, Douthit.
I just don't want it to be a parking lot laptop.
Parking lot top, yeah. One and two now. Calzada's delivery is high and tight. Not enough creativity in high school sports. Funny nuance in Texas sports. When a school opens, the first principal and campus athletic coordinator get to choose their colors and mascot. That's just a soft tapper off the end of the bat that ends up where the Bowie defense is not. It went past Calzada and then between the two middle infielders, and Piper will pick it up after Douthit reaches on a soft single to center field. And see, again, Pops, it's not hard hitting.
Yes.
It's placement.
Placement. There, that was just a, excuse me, extended arm. I'm going to stay alive with this swing. And it just made contact with the barrel of the bat and ended up in center field.
That'll take us to the catcher, Ballinger. Hit by a pitch in his last appearance. Almost gets hit there, and that one goes over the head of everybody. Sanchez will play the carom, and the wild pitch will move Douthit. One and 0 at the plate to Xander Ballinger. Pops, I think in between games, one of us needs to stay with the tent and the equipment to make sure that nothing happens.
Not that there's any fans are going to mess with any of it, but the wind.
The wind will
Just
take
gonna
off with our stuff
everything.
more than anybody else.
You know, the bungees we've got holding the tent down are actually doing a pretty decent job.
They are. There hasn't been a ton of movement, a lot of shaking going on, as that ball is too low for ball number 2 at the plate.
But goodness gracious.
We've had to super secure and batten down the hatches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bungees holding down one tent. All to bring you high school baseball on the Zap Network. Ballinger with a check of his shoes.
Ooh, are we starting to maybe extend the time here a little bit?
Possibly. But we're only at 11:30. We have to play till noon.
Ah, we're good. He just had it untied.
He just had it untied shoe. We definitely saw that from Gregory Portland to try to prevent Arlington High from having another plate appearance.
And it worked.
And it did work. Partially because the official started his clock while the coaches were meeting behind home plate, which is not the start of a ball game.
Start of the ball game should be first pitch.
First pitch, agreed.
They got an extra 5 minutes ahead.
Strike one is issued as Ballinger was taking the whole way. No, you shouldn't punish a player for his warm-up pitches. Coaches shake hands and break, and then teams take the field, and that's when you start the clock? That's a foul ball, as that was dribbled into the shallow infield. I think that's a testament to the contact that went off of Ballinger, that he hit it so hard that even after going off of his leg, it still made its way out to third base.
Yeah, he's having to walk that off and shake that left foot.
I don't think he's got any brace on either one of his legs, so that one probably hit bone. Payoff pitch on the way. Off the wrists, in the air. And who's going to make the grab?
Catcher.
It's the catcher. It's an FO2 for Ballinger. And that'll end the inning. We're headed to the 6th. It's still 9-2 in favor of the home team when we come back here on Zap.
Field Ops North Texas is the trusted name in athletic field marketing for schools, teams, leagues, and tournaments. They even do commercial landscaping. The better question is, what can't they do? With fast turnaround times and proven expertise, they make sure your grounds look unbeatable every time. Call 817-908-2194 to find out more. Looking for a plumber you can rely on? Pipe & Peak handles all your residential plumbing needs. From tunneling and slab leaks to camera inspection and sewer repair, and even cast iron replacement. They offer competitive pricing and now offer financing to make repairs easier to manage. Family owned and trusted for over 16 years, they treat every home like their own. Call 817-807-7069 to get your free quote and get your plumbing handled right.
Well, the sun appeared for all of 30 seconds, and the clouds returned here in Cleburne, Texas. Alongside my pops Doug, I'm Zach Arnold bringing you this tournament ball game. District starts on Wednesday.
Yes.
And
ready for some night games.
The Volunteers will open up against the Grand Prairie Gophers on Wednesday on the road. Jot Holly will be on the call for that ball game. I believe I'm helping him on that broadcast. Pops, you'll have the district opener for Arlington. I believe they're playing Haltom next week.
Well, that brings up some memories from last year when Mom and I got the privilege of calling the district opener at Haltom last year. And we got to witness history as Danny Bustamante threw a perfect game.
Perfect game. Not just a no-no.
No hitter, no walks, no runs. Perfect game. Good offensive support, a couple of home runs over the left field fence.
It's very difficult to collect a perfect game at any level.
Yep.
But varsity high school is especially impressive. Zion Sturgill leading things off. It's the 9-1-2 part of the order for the Volunteers this half inning. At the rate we're going, there's a chance we may play the full 7. But the Jackets would only need 3 in order for it to count as a quote-unquote walk-off run rule. The Volunteers are trying to prevent that from happening. Sturgill struck out swinging in his last appearance. Carter Howe back out for another inning of work. And we were saying during the break, why not? Because this is only pitch number 55 for the young man.
Yeah, he's had a very efficient morning.
With 6 Ks. You know, part of what tournament play is for is to build experience, build cohesiveness, build teamwork, but also to help develop your pitchers, to prepare them for district play and maybe even the postseason beyond. With the efficiency with which Howe has played, I could definitely see him being one of those district rotational pitchers for the Yellowjackets this season. As I say that, he issues ball 3 on the inside to Sturgill.
A little bit off the mark here. Everything's inside so far. He's trying to paint that inside corner. And they're all just a little bit off the corner.
It's too broad of a brush for the young man right now. He'll get a strike call here. The Yellowjackets play in District 8-5A. They went 21-10, including 10-4 in that district last year. Aguilar, one of the returning starters, as is Carter Howe. Second team all-district pitcher last year, as he issues ball 4 to Sturgill here. Ballinger, Douthit, Staten. There's a lot of young men who played valuable innings last year for the Jackets. They are priming themselves for a good run in 8-5A. Top of the order for Josue Martinez, who is now the second baseman after shifting for Vega. They'll check down on Sturgill over at first base. East doesn't even apply a courtesy tag. Unwarranted. That one's going to come straight back our direction. Thank goodness for the netting.
Yeah, the perspective on that one, it was headed right for our alfresco booth here.
that was kind of trippy. They'll check on Sturgill again. He's back in time. The 0-1. Bunt is squared up for, and it'll foul straight back.
Sturgill was off and running on that pitch.
That was one of those hit-and-run bunt attempts that was successful for Micah Couch earlier in the ball game.
Yep.
But now with an 0-2 count, Martinez is going to have to defend the plate. Howe comes home. Just a bit too high.
Fortunate on that one. It looked good from up here.
High heater. Good job by Martinez leading off of it. Because when they're big and juicy like that, you sometimes get the urge to offer at it. The 1-2 now. And again, Ballinger tries to frame it, and the umpire says no. That'll move the count to 2-2.
You know, I was just sitting here taking in our surroundings and thinking, with a throw over to first and another non-tag, thinking how much I love this game.
Same. And that's why I would always rather be at the ballpark.
It's just so relaxing.
There's strategy. There's nuance. Sturgill's off and running. It's a strike at the plate, and a dart is thrown that is not going to be in time. It's a clean steal as Martinez is retired for the backwards K. 7th strikeout for Carter Howe. 1 away here in the top of the 6th. Vega got a infield single, stole a base, and scored a run on a passed ball. And he's going to send a hot shot up the first baseline for a foul, strike 1. Low and away, brings the count to a ball and a strike. Very likely that Howe may hit 70 pitches during this inning, which is a very solid showing for the young man, as he'll step off the back of the pitcher's plate and chase Sturgill back to second. Nobody really covering there, though.
Yeah. It was just a reminder, hey, I know you're still there.
I see you there. Indeed. Speaking of which, this is hit to the shortstop. They're going to try and go to third, and they're going to get Sturgill as he was late on the release. So that's a 6-5 fielder's choice that will retire Sturgill and put Vega aboard on the fielder's choice. And there's 2 away now for Isaiah Piper. Piper's 0 for 2 on the day with a foul out that was corralled in by the first baseman East, deep in foul territory. And a strikeout. He'll take his cuts at this one here and foul it off for strike 1. A little bit of gamesmanship from the umpire there to give the catcher Ballinger an opportunity to catch his breath. If Piper can find his way aboard, it'll be the cleanup hitter, Christian Uribe. Piper taps it, and it's 0-2. I almost said Piper paps it, but that's not right. Piper.
Just a little tang-tungled up there.
No balls and 2 strikes to Piper, as Howe gets ready for pitch number 70. He does indeed reach that number in this inning. And that is the last pitch that he needs, as Piper is retired on strikes. That is K number 8 on the day for that young man. He may try to go for the complete game with his pitch count being what it is. But first, we got to go through the bottom of the 6th. And we'll take you to that and be back momentarily here on the Zap Network, presented by John Wade Roofing. Looking for the most unique gift for your student or athlete? Local Legends Figures has you covered. The custom 6-inch figures are designed with you and your legend in mind. They even immortalize yours truly with a custom, never-before-used model to create a Zach the Voice figure for my 30th birthday. Huge thanks to our friends at Local Legends Figures. See pricing and place orders at locallegendsfigures.com.
Las albercas en Texas necesitan servicios durante todo el año. Rummy Pools brinda servicios de calidad, incluyendo limpieza, mantenimiento y reparaciones. Llama al número 469-951-0107 para una consulta gratuita y pregunta por Roberto. Rummy Pools, haremos que te enamores de tu alberca de nuevo.
Well, with the score being what it is, during the break, the coaches mutually agreed to decide to call the game where it was and not force Bowie's defense to try to hold Cleburne to any more run production than they already put up. So that will run this tournament game final with your score being 9-2 in favor of the home team. Pops, aside from the 3-run bloop double and the sharply hit triple down the left field line, there weren't very many, if any, extra base hits from Cleburne, and yet they still were able to pile together 9 runs.
There were a few fielding errors that extended some innings that led to some of those little bloops and some run scoring. But you're right, other than that, it was just a very methodical game.
Yep.
A little bit here, a little bit there for the home team Yellow Jackets. I thought it was a pretty good pitching outing by Vega. He
battled hard.
He battled hard. He was staying ahead in the count for most of the morning, and Calzana actually had a pretty good relief effort.
He did.
So it's some good positive things from the Bowie Volunteers as they huddle over outside the first base dugout in preparation, reviewing this game and getting ready to face the little Porcupines from Springtown.
Those Porcupines are warming up along the third baseline, so I'm going to have to hustle and try to get some lineups to get ourselves ready for Game 2. It's supposed to be set for approximately 12:30, but they may move it up a little bit so that we can get the next game started and stay ahead of the rainfall that's expected this afternoon, because there are games after Bowie plays Springtown. Springtown will probably have a doubleheader on docket for them as we continue tournament play here in Cleburne. Special thanks to our friends at John Wade Roofing for presenting the post-game show. For all of your roofing needs, plus gutters, painting, solar, or more, call the family that does more, who has been in the community for over 40 years. 817-265-5520. It's kind of an abbreviated post-game show as we get ready for game number 2 here in Cleburne. Game 2 out of 4 being played on the Zap Network, as Arlington High will have a doubleheader over at Birdville High this afternoon as well, with Jod Holly and Cam Wilcox on the call for that. But for my Pops Doug, I'm Zach Arnold signing off for now. We'll see you in a little while for Game 2 between Bowie and